Bianca Rambo is a 20 years old container ship. She was sailing from Hamburg to Oslo in Norway. Her length is 134 meters, her beam 23 meters. The Atlantic Sky is a so-called Conroe, a mixed vehicles and container transporter. She was underway to Antwerp. Her length is 296 meters, her width 38 meters. She was built in 2017. Underway from Bremerhaven to Hamburg was Thetis D, a 15 years old container ship. She measures 168 to 27 meters. It was misty, but at least dry. From Hamburg came the HMM Le Havre. This vessel is 400 meters long and 61 meters wide. She was built in 2020 and was on tour to Antwerp. In 2015, the CMA CGM Zhenghe was built. Her length is 399 meters, her beam 54 meters. She was sailing to Rotterdam. The 5-year-old tanker Vikstram came from Hamburg with Porvoo in Norway as destination port. She is 129 meters long and 20 meters wide. The COSCO Shipping Sagittarius is a 2018-built container ship with a length of 400 meters and a beam of 59 meters. Her destination was Antwerp. This is the CMA CGM Chiwan. This ship was built in 2001 and measures 260 to 32 meters. She came from Rotterdam Maasvlakte. From Gijón in Spain came the bulk carrier GCL Hasira. She is 3 years old, 229 meters long and 32 meters wide. Happy Pelican is a 2012-built LPG tanker. Her length is 113 meters. Her beam 20 meters. Her tour went from Terneuzen in the Netherlands to Stade in Germany. Later in the afternoon, the Evergreen came down the Elbe from Hamburg. Her destination was Rotterdam. Built in 2019, this vessel is 399 meters long and 59 meters wide. As usual, the Ro-Ro freighter Kugelbake was sailing plane parts for Airbus, from Nordenham near Bremerhaven to Finkenwerder near Hamburg. Kugelbake is 79 meters long, 19 meters wide and 15 years old. On tour from Rotterdam Maasvlakte to Hamburg was the container ship Ala Marine. It is 15 years old, 170 meters long and 25 meters wide. The 168 meters long and 26 meters wide Callisto was built in 2005. Her tour went from Wilhelmshaven to Hamburg. This is the Ever Atop, a ship of the A-class from the Taiwan-seated Evergreen Marine Corporation. So this vessel is 400 meters long and 62 meters wide. Ever Atop was built in 2022, and here she came from Felixstowe in Great Britain. On the next day, we had clear view, and right in the morning, Matz came by on her tour to Felixstowe in Great Britain. Matz is 399 meters long, 59 meters wide and 10 years old. Back from Hamburg came Ala Marine, this time with destination Antwerp. From Rotterdam came the chemical tanker Stolt Osprey. This tanker has a size of 100 to 17 meters and was built in 1998. She was underway to Stade. On afternoon then, clear view was replaced by heavy rainfall. Through that rain drove the bulk carrier Golden Frieze that came from Norfolk in the US. She has a length of 229 meters, a beam of 32 meters, and was built in 2021. The rain grew weaker, and then the next bulk carrier came around the corner, this time the Eptalophos. This vessel is 17 years old, 230 meters long, has a beam of 37 meters, and was sailing from New Orleans in the US to Hamburg. On the next day, it still was rainy. At first, the 204 meters long and 30 meters wide short-range container ship CMA-CGM Rundale came by. Her tour went from Norrköping in Sweden to Hamburg. She was built in 2024. And here we see the reason why I was standing on the dike in the rain, the new-built OOCL Denmark that was en route to her maiden call to the port of Hamburg. This container ship measures 399 to 61 meters and came from Rotterdam Maasvlakte. It was evening when the 2024 built Queen Anne from Cunard came down the Elbe from Hamburg. She is a 323 meters long and 36 meters wide cruise ship. Her destination port was Southampton in England. Underway from Hamburg to Emden in Germany was the vehicle transporter Thames Highway. Her length is 148 meters, her beam 26 meters. She was built in 2005. The 2012-built container ship Scala measures 152 to 23 meters and was underway to Gdynia in Poland. The tanker Windsor came from Karlshamn in Sweden. She is 146 meters long, 24 meters wide and 15 years old. Her tour went to Hamburg. Another vehicle transporter, this time the Höegh Oslo. She is 180 meters long and 32 meters wide. Built in 2008, she was sailing from Bremerhaven to Hamburg. The bulk carrier Golden Frise, that we already saw incoming fully loaded, now drove by empty from Hamburg en route to Kamsar in Guinea. In the morning, the container ship Seattle Sea came by. She measures 260 to 32 meters and is 18 years old. Her destination was Thames in Great Britain. Underway from Hamburg to Belfast was Celine Pram. She is a 1994-built freighter with a length of 75 meters and a beam of 12 meters. From Aarhus in Denmark came the freighter Maike. She is 36 years old, 82 meters long and 11 meters wide. The container ship MSC Solar drove from Antwerp to Hamburg. She was built in 2008. Her length is 364 meters, her beam 46 meters. W West is a 101 meters long and 19 meters wide tanker. She was built in 2008. She came from Bilbao in Spain and her destination was Stadesand. The freighter Kala C was sailing to Mostaganem in Algeria. This vessel is 106 meters long and 16 meters wide. Her age is 15 years. On afternoon then, the container ship Munksund came by on her way from Hamburg to Aarhus in Denmark. Her size is 158 to 24 meters and she was built in 2012. The bulk carrier Equinox Star didn't want to tell us its destination, something with BRVBR. Anyways, this ship is 197 meters long, 32 meters wide and 14 years old. On tour from Hamburg to Bremerhaven was the box mover MSC Fabienne. She is 294 meters long, 32 meters wide, and was built in 2004. The freighter Neuland was built in 1995, is 90 meters long and 13 meters wide. She drove from Büsum in Germany to Hamburg. Melati 7 is a chemical tanker. Built in 2000, she is 177 meters long and has a beam of 30 meters. Her destination was Braki in Germany. Finally, the freighter Maxima came by. Built in 2021, the vessel has a very energy-saving hull form, is 150 meters long and 16 meters wide. She came from Farsund in Norway. The last day of 2024 still was foggy, but at least you finally could recognize anything again, like the small tanker Jana that drove from Cuxhaven to Hamburg. Jana measures 69 to 12 meters and is 20 years old. Driving from Hamburg to Gdynia in Poland was Elbe. This vessel is 140 meters long, 22 meters wide, and was built in 2009. Coming from Felixstowe in Great Britain was the 17-year-old Eugen Mærsk. She has a length of 399 meters and a beam of 57 meters. Also from Felixstowe came the Ever Apex. She has a size of 400 to 62 meters and was built in 2022. The year ended with Ida Rambo. She is 149 meters long, 23 meters wide, was built in 2007 and came from Brevik in Norway. After long days with storm, rain and fog, 2025 finally got better. In nice light and temperatures under the freezing point, a few nice ships came by, like this one for example. Her name is Artlist. She is 158 meters long, 24 meters wide and was built in 2010. She came from Thames in England. Here we see a former ship from the Hamburg Süd shipping company, the San Marco Mærsk. This ship is 333 meters long, has a beam of 48 meters, and was built in 2013. Her tour went to Antwerp. Underway from Gdynia in Poland to Hamburg was the container ship Songa Panther. She is 2 years old, 172 meters long and 29 meters wide. Barbaros Uluk Vardal is a 105 meters long and 17 meters wide tanker that was built in 2004. She came from Antwerp. The freighter Lilac Roller was sailing to Antwerp. She is 180 meters long, 28 meters wide and was built in 2011. Hermes is a bulk carrier that is 13 years old, 225 meters long and 32 meters wide. She drove from Las Palmas on Gran Canaria to Stade near Hamburg. Right at the morning, the 398 meters long and 54 meters wide container ship CMA-CGM Kerguelen came down the Elbe. She was built in 2015. Her tour went from Hamburg to Gdansk in Poland. Sailing from Hamburg to Rotterdam was ever ace, a 400 meters long and 62 meters wide container ship from Evergreen. She was built in 2021. Later at the day, the container ship Nük Rumina came by on my position. This vessel is 294 meters long, has a beam of 32 meters, and is 15 years old. She came from Rotterdam Maasvlakte. The Ever Gifted is 400 meters long, 59 meters wide, and was built in 2018. Her tour went from Felixstowe in Great Britain to Hamburg. On tour from Antwerp to Hamburg was the chemical tanker Othello. 15 years old, her size is 105 to 17 meters. The tanker Agath is 122 meters long, 16 meters wide and 5 years old. She came from Port Jerome in France with destination Hamburg. The container ship San Nicolas Mærsk was built in 2013, has a length of 333 meters and a beam of 48 meters. She came from Rotterdam Maasvlakte. This is Beate. She measures 134 to 23 meters and is 20 years old. Her destination port was Aarhus in Denmark. It was cold, wet and grey. Finally, normal weather again. The container ship AS Palina was underway to Bremerhaven. She is 210 meters long, 30 meters wide and was built in 2004. The destination of the bulk carrier Aruna Berg was open sea. She was built in 2011, is 193 meters long and 32 meters wide. Dutch Emerald is a chemical tanker that was sailing to Saltend in the UK. She measures 118 to 17 meters and is 25 years old. From Hamburg to Copenhagen in Denmark drove the feeder ship Neuenfelder. She is 134 meters long, 23 meters wide and was built in 2001. Freshly painted, the Conroe Atlantic Star came up the Elbe. Built in 2015, she is 296 meters long and 38 meters wide. She came from Liverpool. Coming from Rotterdam Maasvlakte was the box mover Sim Vietnam. Her length is 304 meters, her beam 40 meters, and she is 22 years old. Anneliese P. came from Klaipėda in Lithuania with destination Hamburg. Her length is 166 meters, her beam 25 meters. She was built in 2008. New, small and pink. That is the 2024 built One recognition. She is 273 meters long, 43 meters wide, and came from Rotterdam Maasvlakte.